This is the OnePlus 10 Pro, and it's the phone that checks all the boxes except for one. Let's talk about it. First off, with software. To be disclosed, Oppo, which is a sub-brand of BBK Electronics, and OnePlus, which is also a sub-brand of BBK Electronics, they both make smartphones, this being the OnePlus 10 Pro, and Oppo has like their own like lineup of phones. They've been merging, so their software has kind of been merging as well. These phones, the Oppo and the OnePlus phones, their software has kind of like merged together. So like the OnePlus's app icons, the OnePlus's app drawer, the OnePlus's like settings app, all of those things kind of like merged with Color OS, and now Oxygen OS is kind of like a fusion of the two. It's kind of weird. Me personally, I used the OnePlus phone, the OnePlus 8 Pro, a couple of years back. For a while, I liked OnePlus's Oxygen OS skin. This is definitely a downgrade, but I wouldn't go as far as other reviewers to say that it's a horrible software skin and that no one should use it, because ColorOS in and of itself is pretty good. You get some granular customization in the wallpaper and also in the home screen itself, so I'm not mad. Also, they kept Google Discover, so good job, Oppo, OnePlus, Fusion Company. Also, the screen on this phone, I mean, it costs $899, and that is creeping up into flagship phone territory, and the screen should be amazing, right? And yeah, of course it is. It's a flagship Pro OnePlus phone. They've always had great and sometimes class-leading screens, right? OnePlus 7 Pro, OnePlus 8 Pro, OnePlus 9 Pro, and now with OnePlus 10 Pro. The screen on this phone is just really nice to look at. It's a joy to use. 120Hz, 1440p, LTPO. All these phrases don't really describe how nice it is to use this phone. Like the screen itself. It's a joy to use. Scrolling, watching YouTube videos, taking photos, which we'll get into later. This phone is just a joy to use in its screen, and there's nothing really I can fault it for. Maybe a little brighter to compete with the S22 Ultra, but then again, this isn't even in its price range, so the screen definitely gets an A+. Another thing that sets the OnePlus 10 Pro apart from other flagship phones at its price range is definitely the charging. In Europe and other regions around the world, it does do 80 watt super fast charging, but because I live in the States, right? So I can't really get that super fast crazy charging. Though personally, I think any charging that goes above like 65 watts is pointless because you get diminishing returns, and at that point it's like killing your battery. So for me personally, the 65 watt charging that we get here in the States is more than fast enough, and I mean it's definitely faster than the iPhones and Samsungs of the world, which definitely need to upgrade their charging if they're going to compete with these Chinese OEMs. The phone fills up from 0 to 100 in like, I don't know, 40 or so minutes. It's really, really quick. And if you're at home, need a quick top up, you're gonna go out back out into the world, I think it's a great way to just make the user experience of the phone a little better. There's nothing really wrong I can say about this battery. In addition to that great charging, the battery life on the OnePlus 10 Pro is, of course, great, as it does have a 5,000 mAh battery, which matches the capacities of the Pixel 6 Pro and the S22 Ultra, surprisingly. This phone gets me through a full day and nothing more. I don't know if it's the slightly more less power efficient Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 CPU in here, but it just doesn't feel as efficient as my iPhone or even as my Pixel. It will drain battery on standby a little more than what I'd like, but because of that crazy fast charging If I'm going out somewhere, all I gotta do is plug it in for a couple minutes and I'm topped up, you know? It's not a bad experience. I've been using this phone for roughly a week, and while the cameras are better, I mean, they're not bad per se, the cameras on the OnePlus 10 Pro have definitely disappointed me. At this phone's price, $899, it is definitely competing with the Google Pixel 6 Pro, which its camera is literally like the camera of the Pixel 6 Pro is literally replicated almost identically in the Pixel 6a. And that phone costs what, $500 US? So the fact that this OnePlus 10 Pro, with the Hasselblad branding and everything, right, it still can't even match up to that is just, like, sad. First of all, the main sensor was downgraded from the 9 Pro. It's now 48 megapixels and it uses a lesser sensor. And also the ultra wide has been relieved of its macro duties for some reason. Like, even the iPhone has that feature. I don't know why OnePlus took it away. It was pretty great. I just don't know. And also, this telephoto is literally here for show. The actual quality of this telephoto lens is not good at all. Especially if you compare it to the iPhone 13 Pro and the Google Pixel 6 Pro, which this phone is dangerously encroaching on. $899 with the OnePlus 10 Pro compared to $999 and $899 respectively of the iPhone and the Pixel 6. I mean, there's no way OnePlus can be competitive in the camera space with these lackluster cameras. Here's some samples, as I were to say, to help you decide for yourself. See what I mean? These photos are fine, but they're not anything that I would gawk at, and they're certainly not Pixel or iPhone quality. Not even Samsung quality, to be honest. I mean, the S22 Plus is a pretty great camera system in and of itself. You can watch my review. It's on my YouTube channel. Anyway, other perks of this phone, it has a really cool alert slider. I wish other Android manufacturers, you know, got this off the old carcass and applied it back to their phones, because it is, you know, again, like, really helpful if you're in a meeting or at school or something, you want to quickly silence your phone. Really satisfying too. Anyway, yeah, this phone, there's not any huge differentiating feature to space it out like above the crowd. The Pixel has its amazing photo quality and its stock Android experience. The iPhone shoots better video than some cameras. And the Samsung is, well, the Samsung with its combination of everything and its overloading of software features. But the OnePlus 10 Pro really only has charging to differentiate it. And, you know, for some people, if you charge your phone every single night, it shouldn't really make that much of a difference. So, I ask you guys, why would you want to buy the OnePlus 10 Pro over any of those phones? It just doesn't seem reasonable to me. That's it. That's the review. If you want to like, subscribe, comment down below what devices do you want me to review. And yeah, that's the end of my review. Peace.